are these people?
Telling you earlier, or reminding you of when I read this at the M4A event in Columbus a couple years back, that I got to the part about the 40% of police domestic abuse statistic, and there's like one state trooper that patrolled the whole grounds, and he was literally standing right behind me at that line, and I looked up, and like Misty and a few of the other people were standing there and watching, and they had this look like waiting to see if I just got like clubbed upside the head from behind. So,
no.
Yep, but live to
He's
tell.
standing right behind me, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. It was exactly that. Okay. Yeah, Hyacinth, let's do this. This is one of those spoken word pieces that was fun to come back to when I did Perennial Edition, because post Elon Twitter takeover, any of the Elon stuff just hits differently, and this piece is no exception. So this is Hyacinth, What More You Have to Give. You don't call, you don't write. How is that not to imply that you think what I'm doing must be right? Think that I'm doing all right. You don't mind giving up your rights. Don't mind seeing your leaders aligned with the violent right. Don't mind carrying water to pour on the altar where we plan to sacrifice all of your pensions in one of our nameless imperial rights that renders the rioters silent and pries every rhyme by its root in their heads, that quiets the storm by denying them platforms to buy up some time for the task force, crafting a law to detain them and mace them if they try to ask for their water and bread. Mind you, the bread looks like moss off a boulder from all of the mold, and the water is rusted and red. As bitter as all of the blood you hear pounding when you try to block out the sounds as you're lying in bed. Mind you, the bed is a spot on the floor, and there's really no more to be said. But you don't call, you don't write. If you knew better, there'd be mountains of letters outside, stacked to the sky, blocking the sun out, blocking my drive. You would slow the flow of my campaign funds down, my reputation in the ground by sundown. Good thing I got MSNBC on my PR rundown. To put you at ease, maybe give you a nice little neo-lib rubdown. And then blare my redemption from Breitbart to Cumtown. Flood all your free speech channels with a bunch of raw shit and shut the pumps down. Then usher out a couple dozen sock accounts to pop up in your mentions with their toxins stocked and talons out, here to help defend a man's dementia with the passions of a talent scout, selling you their bullshit while they're drooling half a gallon down the hat. They'll pull a rabbit out. Verbally, they'll strap you down. Slap you with a finely crafted soundbite from the squad that you could try to feed your family with, or play back for the officers arriving to evict you in the hopes that they won't snatch you out. But big surprise, their clubs are out and masks are down, impolitely asking you to pack a little faster now, just to please the bastard with the fascist tats and badge that makes him think he's someone actually of matter, not an actor playing overseer at the sick behest of benefactors who will starve as many families as it takes to make their profits fatter. And then when they tell those loyal cops their kids are on the chopping block to sate their daily greed and need to satisfy their hungry stock, statistically, 2/5 of these are all too pleased, because it just means that they can beat their spouses without all those little weak attempts to make them stop. I was watching TV, screaming, make it stop. Screaming at that cable feed of double talk. Screaming at the Daily Razor shaving down our labor laws. Screaming at the left like they can wave a wand and change it all. Screaming at the leaders we gave time and trust and money to, who played us all. We the people, tattered rags and paper dolls. Screaming at our debt and at these overfed pigs who create it all. Trying to teach the ways of the world to my son like I don't hate it all. Stone soup, cops came and ate it all. Waters for the homeless, cops are gonna break them all. Education budget, cops are gonna take it all. Send your kids to prison, think about the time you'll save us all. Years later, fucking goddamn it, years later, you'll be lucky if you're paid at all. Years later, you'll be wired to a grid that turns your brain's electric current to a resource they can strip, and we'll all be mining Bitcoin 80 hours at a clip. Too tired for the drive home. It ain't worth the trip because it hurts to be reminded that you never see your kid. And then every time they fire up the hub and plug you in, their memory recedes a little further till it blurs into the dim, until you can't recall your kin. Open up your eyes and you see Tesla on your skin. Earn a dime a day and owe them 20 for the mandatory membership to Tesla Gym. We're all one big happy family who neutralized your family at the gates when they tried to sneak a message in. Who taunts you with escape in their advertising messaging. Taunts you with the sounds of a child at play, a warm summer day, the things we can all sense slipping away because their frequency is lessening. You are working for a living in which you are only visiting. Working under safety laws that profit ends up pivoting, shifting into figures in which losing you is just the cost of maximizing profit in the world that we do business in. The world in which we fight to see the bright side, but always get the business end. And I've been here in wait since late '08 to witness this descent, suck my soul away in little bits, a dime a day, but with a monthly cap of 50 cents. Because Tesla-funded studies show that overpaid employees don't know what to do with all the extra money because they're lazy and they're ignorant. But all that extra capital keeps innovation radical, and you can say that you were part of history in the making in the unacknowledged, patronizing, strictly honorary sense. Now we understand you may resent that Mr. Musk was heaven sent to take you on his back for his divine ascent. And just before he reached the palace gates above the firmament, he dropped you on the outer steps a month before retirement. Again, may we refer you to suggested ways of demonstrating gratitude to Mr. Musk that he was kind enough to let you feed his great Leviathan. Tesla-funded studies show that you amount to nothing in the hours you're not wired in. Hours you spend quietly denying that you let them in your head or let them walk potential buyers in. Mind you, all of this a mere month before retirement. And mind you, your retirement is waiting in the dirt that feeds the Hyacinth. Or maybe, if you're lucky, you can spend another year assisting researchers in biosynth. Now, mind you, that amounts to nothing more than torture, but they wipe your memory after every session, washing out all prior sense. Think of it as Mr. Musk absolving all your prior sins. Don't think of it as skinning you and fitting you with trial limbs. Think of it as Mr. Musk presenting you the opportunity to help America's elite achieve tighter skin, fuller lips, healthy eyes, smoother lids. Don't think of it as rape. Try to think of it as Mr. Musk assigning you a mate because America needs cattle. I mean kids. Don't ask what Mr. Musk can do for you. Ask yourself if there is something more you have to give. Ask yourself what more you have to give. Ask yourself what more you have to give. Ask yourself what more you have to give. And that's Hyacinth.
You could have called that trigger warning dark and dystopian also. By the way.
No shit.
Right?
Oh God, that's so true.
That's great.
Oh man.